Hey, you guys. Let me know if you have sound. I see where someone said they didn't have sound. What are you looking at?
See if you're on.
I'm on.
Okay.
Yes, that's why I asked them. Yes, to tell me if you can. Someone said they had no sound on their end. So I think that was Lori. And I was sharing the screen, so it may have something to do with it, Lori. I was sharing that song with you guys. So good afternoon to you all. So everything's good. Okay, great. Who was the early bird tonight? Linda Langdon. That's right. Linda was the early bird tonight. Hey, Linda. And Lori came up second, and then here comes Deb. She was the third runner-up. Hello, Marie. Hello, Fleeta. Hey, Vern. Been thinking about you, sweetie. And Jill, glad you're here tonight.
Connie
and Apostle Norman.
Armstrong, all of you guys.
And Dwayne, I'm glad you're here. Let's see, who else is on there? Marla, I'm glad you're here too, darling. Good to see you with us tonight. Kelly, I'm glad you're here, KK. And Dovie Kelly, do I know you? Are you a newbie? Let us know who you are. Hey, Leslie, I'm glad you're here. Leslie Austin is on here.
Yeah, good to have all of you guys. New people coming in.
Hey, Sissy and brother-in-law. Didi and George.
It's Crawford, she there.
All right.
Judy Hill, the nurse, is there.
Yeah. Hey, Juju.
Good to see you, man. Girls, boys and girls, all of you.
I just played the What a Wonderful World. Some of you might have heard it, might have gotten part of it. But hey, Pearl, I wanted to play that for you. And I was looking at Psalms, remembering Psalms 104, verse 4. And it's talking about entering into his gates with thanksgiving. And when you have anything going on in your life, whether it be good or bad, the best treatment for anything is Thanksgiving. Be thankful. So if you would, think of just one thing you're thankful for and type it in for me. Just one thing. I am thankful for so many things, but if you could just think of one thing that you're absolutely grateful for, and it doesn't have to be anything big and spectacular. It could be just the fact that you can breathe, the fact that you have your sense of sight, or you can move your arm. It could be any little thing. So type it in if you don't mind. Judy's grateful for her health. I'm alive and alert, Dovie says. Leslie said breathing. That's a biggie, because if you ever had breathing issues, that's a big deal. So just type in what you're grateful for. Marla's grateful for her garden. And who am I? I'm not sure who am I is, but they're grateful for their health. Jill's grateful for her mom. Didi said she gonna cover it off, so I'm thankful for all. I'm thankful for you guys.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm thankful for you too.
And for you. Thank you for fixing my meal today.
Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome.
I married you so you could cook.
So I could cook and clean. I know. Yeah. Fern says she's thankful for life, health, and strength, and for the present moment being okay. Yes. Marga, do we know you? Are you a newbie? Do we know you, Marga? I don't recall your name, so if you can kind of give us a brief intro, it would be great. So we get to know you just a little bit. Sissy says she's grateful for life. Fleeta says she's grateful for her family. Kelly says she's grateful for everything. Well, that's good. Sometimes I have to really pinpoint something, though, to make myself really come out of the vagueness. So if you can find something really specific. She's from Taipei. Oh, that's right. I remember you. You're from Taipei. That's right. It's good to have you with us today. And Lotus Chick, I'm glad you're here. Every single moment of life, I'm grateful for that as well. Healing and wholeness and soundness of mind. Sister Chris says that. And Connie says, I'm grateful for strength in my right arm. Yes, ma'am. I understand what you're saying. And that's a good thing. Your body has been faithful to us, hasn't it? And sometimes they get broken down, but they're faithful to us. And sometimes they break down because we've abused them a little bit. And but they keep going as long as they can. Thankful for family. Thankful that I can walk and move. Thankful for family. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So that puts you in the mode of being grateful. What are we going to talk about tonight, Mr. Sawyer?
Well, the mind's eye, let's see. I wanted to touch on an area of, I heard one person say that the mind's eye or the third eye and all that kind of stuff, Eastern definition of seeing in the spirit world. And I asked the question, is the mind's eye and the third eye the same? And it is.
Interesting that you said that. Virginia says she's grateful to be able to hear since she's blind.
Oh.
But your third eye is open.
Yes.
That's good.
You have what is called blind sight.
Yes.
The third eye is open. I have seen kids that were blindfolded and could still see through the mind's eye or the third eye. We knew a lady that we went to have a class in Greensboro. She could cook, the stove cook, even go to the stereo and pick out different songs, and she knew how to turn it on and turn it off.
Absolutely functional.
Yeah, yes. She was.
Yes.
So I'm saying that you may already know some people like that, but
she may be like that.
You may be like that, but to encourage you that it's one thing to talk about it. There's Robert Williamson there.
Hey, Robert.
It's just another thing to be in an experience or to be in something. And we can talk chin music out the side of our neck, but when it really happened, it's a different story.
In Ezekiel 8:12, it talks about man having a chamber of imagery. Yeah. Yeah. So we all have an internal movie theater.
When
we can still see.
When I say you, it may be universal. You could be individualized. You, ego, you, separate self. Yeah. Just you. Yeah. Once you understand that through waking up to the absolute truth of the definition of eternal life in connection to our no-dying self, it will answer a lot of questions. I have investigated for 50 years at least, near-death studies. Yeah. And I have seen where people have gone to heaven and they wanted to stay and could not, and some wanted to stay and they did, but they sent word back to a certain family member or what was going on where they were in person to them. And I want you guys to know that I have researched from rooter to tutor.
That's true.
About who can get in heaven, who is already there, who have misunderstood the meaning of going and coming of the presence of God. I've investigated into personal experiences, and I was told that we all chose. I'm not talking about your mind. I'm not talking about your physical birth of your physical body. I'm not talking about the Methodist, Presbyterian. I'm not talking about the King James Version or any other version. We all chose the way we are to go back home before we projected ourselves here in our true identity.
And when you say go back home,
I'm talking about heaven. Heaven
as a place.
As a place.
Okay.
Or heaven as our true identity. Jesus said that he was the way, the truth, and the life. That means whichever way you decided, if there was a decision to be made before you left the portals of the illusionary fact of eternity. Let me say this right quick. When you came here, you did not give up being eternal. Wow.
Okay.
We did not forfeit eternalness, infinite, and ever
being immortal.
Immortal. We did not forfeit that. We could not, because in this that we are, inside of every physical body, whatever you want to say, it is time for the church or us or anybody to settle the issue without denomination. And this is what I wrote down in my note. We should not fuss on fussing about the way we should get back home. Everybody will eventually get back home, but there are people that I have been investigating to who went to heaven, went through the tunnel. Some go through the tunnel, some go through the line, some don't. When you leave your body, people have out-of-body travel, and they have died and did not go through space. Some of them was there automatically. When I was investigating into this, I was like most people, young Brussels sprout. I thought everything and everybody that went to heaven had to go there the same way.
True.
And I found out that as the mountain itself is there are different ways, different roads, different paths that get you there. But there are some of us in the ego part of us, or the judgmental part of us, want to make sure that everybody cannot get to heaven unless they drink full strength Maxwell House coffee.
Do it their way.
Do it their way. Or if you don't pray every day, you're not going to make it.
So now you're speaking again
on general,
and you're speaking general, and you're using language of separation again.
Yeah, I'm using that.
Yes, because we've also said prior to now, that we are home.
Yeah.
So it depends on from where you're looking.
Somebody asked me the question, but do you believe in Jesus? I said, yeah. I said, I believe in a whole lot of things, but I have transcended, and I'm not patting myself on the back. I got away from trying to decide on who was right and who was wrong and who had the best version of the best saying. And I left it alone because I knew after investigating, it took a while now. I've been in this 52 years, at least more. And I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Well, I've come to the conclusion that no matter what camp you visit, there is always disagreement, even amongst the camp. So no matter who you listen to in spirituality and the near-deathers in the Christian religion or any other religion or any other faith or belief, there are always those within that same sect that do not agree. So I kind of come to the conclusion that we all just don't know.
Yeah.
But what we're doing is we're telling the truth as we've seen it. As we've seen it. Right. So that doesn't give anybody the right to say this is the absolute way, because none of that has been proven. It's just the experience of the one that has seen it.
Hell itself cannot destroy eternity.
No, it cannot. It cannot.
Your eternal essence has always been and will always be, regardless of soul, mind, ego, monkey, baboon, chicken, duck, hen, nest egg, duck egg. Which came first, the egg or the chicken?
The chicken.
Who cares?
The chicken did, because if the chicken didn't come, the egg would have never got here.
Where did the chicken come from? Came from us. I'm sorry, came from God. Came from us, because we've been going. All we do as Christians, enlightened people, to eat chicken, so chicken came from us.
Hey, Vincent from California.
Yeah, good to see you, man. Almost stronger.
Hey, Vincent, I'm trying to learn what a podcast is. I don't even know, man. I don't know. We're doing what we do. We don't know. We need help.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was good stuff.
Mhm.
What you just mentioned, that was great.
Well, let's go on because there's a little bit more.
Okay.
We have all chose the way we will get back there in the infinite self. So if you want to find out more about it, don't go to your book.
Right.
Don't go to your magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
go
to
the internet.
Don't even go to what I'm saying.
Right. Don't go to the internet.
Go to your internal net.
Mm-hmm.
Go to your internal Antoinette.
Oh, okay.
That's you.
Okay.
You look good enough to buy it.
Well, thank you.
You need a good plug bit out of you right now. Okay. So anyway, once you catch on to this, you're going to have all kinds of flashes
Mm-hmm.
of some of the worst
Mm-hmm.
things you can get into and things that have been taking place in the story in the past.
Yeah.
The mind will fight with the ego to continue to be in charge of the definition of yourself. Wow. I feel that. I feel that. Your mind and ego and your conditioned self, the conditioned self, believes that it is the real you. But listen to this. Let me tell you about what happened now.
Yeah.
I run across this young lady from the Philippines.
In your research.
In my research.
Yeah, in your research.
Who said that in certain parts of the country, they don't like their camps to allow dark or brown people in. Mm-hmm. They give brown people, dark people, a held part.
Well, I think she was Filipino, right?
Filipino, that might Filipino, be, yeah. Okay.
And that they didn't really care for the darker brown.
Right.
And
she prayed and asked God to take her out of this world.
And he did?
And he gave her the experience of going out of this world. And where she was, I'm not going to go into the details of it. Okay. Where she was, she had an experience, and this is going to be shocking to you, but I'm going to say it. She had the experience while she was there to see the beautiful places, and she had a chance to look back down to see her body, and she could not believe that her body was something she came out of. Because it was, she said that thing needed hair fix, and it's all in different ways. Said, is it? But her real self, who was eternal, was her watching the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Your eternal real self is the one. We are
the watcher.
Yeah. Your eternal self, real you, spirit, is the one that observes all dreams.
Yes. We are the watcher, aren't we?
Yeah. Yes. Now listen to this. She said a voice came up and it called her name. Mm-hmm. And the name said, turn and look to the right. And when she did, it was two beings standing there. And one of the beings was Jesus' mother.
Okay.
And he was standing beside her.
Okay.
And she found out that God is male and female in one identity.
Yeah, both male and female, yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, some of you guys out there want him to be like the picture on the wall. Mm-hmm. You want him to be like the little girl who was told to paint, and she's made millions of dollars off of painting pictures art, of who Jesus is. Beautiful. And every one of them that she painted looks just like
and then too, I thought about this. I said, this Father's Day is coming up. Most of us relate to God as an other, and it's a male in our concept. Not realizing that in Genesis, when it spoke of God, the term for the God was Sophia, which was feminine. It was feminine. And also it was plural. When it said, let us, there was a plurality that created all of this. It wasn't a one being that did it.
Okay. Here's what she said. Now watch this. In the presence of Jesus and his agenda identity of male and female.
His gender identity.
His non-gender. His non-gender. Whatever you want to say.
It's both genders.
Both genders.
Yeah.
That he was, now watch it. He was male and female without the ego, and without the definition of homosexuality and lesbianism,
Right.
and what they call morphodite, whatever they call that. He was all of that without
Labels.
Without
Without
labels. I'm gonna say it this way: without error.
And it had nothing to do with sexuality.
Nothing to do with sexuality. nothing at all.
Nothing to do with
sexuality. Nothing to do with it. So,
wouldn't you say that we all have those same two genders inside of us?
Yeah, we
both
do.
Male and female. Yes.
I'm saying this for you to go deep. The deep calleth unto the deep. That's not talking about me. The deep part of you, the infinite part of you, essence, is calling your attention to come completely home to where you will stop fighting about what book is saying the right or the wrong way, how many versions of the book, who had a vision and wrote it down, and this is the way I believe it. I know I hear people in my church who say, but this is the way I see it.
This is the way I see it.
I hope you're seeing the no judgment areas.
Well, that's why I say that, and I said it before, that I've come to the conclusion that none of us really know what we speak of as truth is that we have seen. What we have seen. And we can only speak of the truth that we've seen. Anything else is going to be a belief that I borrowed from somebody else.
I see somebody saying the states of development. Now, let me tell you, development is not in the infinite self, unless the infinite self has got something to do with being less or more, more or less aware or more or less.
But that is a concept that a lot of people have, that we are souls and we're in stages of development. I would say we are beings in stages of evolution, coming out of one mindset into another. That happens all the time. So it's like a constant being born again.
Okay. The new birth experience, all of this. So when I found out over the years that there are people who have been granted the opportunity to go to this place inside themselves or outside, whether in the body or out, it doesn't make any difference. And they found out, and this lady found out, that Jesus, when you stand in front of him, whether you are believing in him or not, he is absolutely all the love that you could ever try to pull up in your memory. She said the love that he did not have love. She said his garments was love. She said his feet was love. Every part. And she said when he didn't walk, he moved. And she described him practically the same way we saw him. And see him that way every time. She said his love was so depth and in deepness. So deep, every cell and fiber, so vast, so every cell and fiber, blood and everything in her physical body was his love.
And we've heard other near-deathers say that they've experienced that love. There was an awesome love when they came out of their bodies, and they met the presence of God, and whether it be the presence of God as Jesus, or whether it be the presence of God as light, however God presented itself, they experienced that love.
And we heard in the church that Satan can disguise himself as an angel of light. Let me let you know something right quick. I don't care how many times that negative, dark, low vibrational frequency of whatever you call the devil is there. Let me let you know something. Your infinite Christ identity, I don't care how slick and subtle the darkness is in all of us.
And it is in all of us.
And it is in all of us.
Yes, it is.
She said you would recognize Jesus automatically, whether you died and went to heaven or hell, or in your body or out your body, or seeing him in somebody or not. this is automatic. You would automatically recognize. Yes. He is noted.
I think that's in every person to be able to recognize God when it shows up, when they have an encounter.
And we're not talking about Jesus only people.
No, we're not.
We're not talking about baptized. No other way you can be saved or go to heaven than by that name. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that.
And I wrote this in a poem, and you made me think about God's love. And the first line in that poem is, "As I stand in the rain of God's love without covering, I experienced the freedom of not having to do anything to be accepted."
And as I looked at that, Miss Judy, I saw that even now this is mind blowing. I saw that even in the story, do you find the unfathomable love that He is in all of us?
And I think if all of us could just experience, or I won't say experience, but if we could all just grasp the fact of how much we're loved, I don't think there'd be much fear. I don't think there'd be any fear left.
It is that love that loves us. And that love is the love you use and go to forgive everybody and everything that ever happened, even the bad memories.
Because that love holds no grudge.
None at all.
And that love does not even have to use the tool called forgiveness. And we got that up here on our shelf. But, that love, that awesome love that you're talking about doesn't require anything to be forgiven. Changes. That is
be as you are. If whatever you think you are, it's okay. I was told today that, and I've run across it a lot when I in moonshine with my uncle where I lived, not me, but where I lived. They would always bring up a religious incident and get into some of the biggest
debates
because big in a moonshine
liquor house.
In moonshine, it's a moonshine gospel. They call it. I call it moonshine. Have a Tampa smoking cigarette. I always thought cigar smoking snuff dipping. I
always
gospel.
thought have a Tampa kind of sounded nasty. I didn't like that.
There's a have a Tampa cigar.
I know, but it always to me it just.
No, you think about Mammy Tampa.
Don't say it.
Well, that's the word they used to use. You are a Mammy Tampa.
Don't say it again.
Okay, that's a Mammy Tampa.
Don't say it.
Okay, I said I ain't gonna say it anymore. What you know what I'm saying?
Don't say it.
What?
Don't say it.
Don't say what? Mammy Tampa? Okay, I won't say it no more. I won't say Mammy Tampa no more.
You're awful.
Good evening, everybody. We're back again.
Awful. You are awful.
Love reaches beyond.
Your liberty, boy. Your liberty.
It is absolutely wordless. Oh, God. Well, anyway, here's what happened. Now that I found out, let me go back. You guys probably heard me say it, talk about this. We had a daughter when we was in foster parent in a young age.
Say names because she might not want everybody to know.
And I'm not going to say her name, but she came to us. She conceived a child. She was married, and it was twins that she was supposed to come forward with, but there was a birth difficulty. And the doctor told her that if she was to have those babies, she would die. It would kill her.
Yeah.
To have those twins.
That was a test of not of our faith, but of our
unconditional love.
Of our trust that God really did accept us as we are. That's what was put on the line. Does God really accept us just as we are?
I saw on YouTube this morning, I deliberately made myself look at this dog that was dying and trying to die and didn't want to live anymore. He was beyond.
You watched it?
I did.
Because you're so sensitive.
I did. I wanted to.
Okay.
I saw God save this dog's life through an organization. That dog was laying out in between two buildings, a public place.
They had to nurse it back to health.
They picked the dog up. It was absolutely awful. And there are people that are living like that too.
Yes, there are. There are.
They put the dog couldn't eat Oh, I can see it in my head. I deliberately, I wanted to see it because I wanted to see how God can do his thing at the worst hour. Laverne, I want you to hear this. They took the dog in and they nursed it and gave it IVs. And the dog screamed when they picked it up. It screamed with terror. It didn't want to live, but God didn't let the dog die.
So that says to me that love is not pity. God does not feel sorry for us. God loves us. And love wants to nurture us back, nurse us back to health. And so it doesn't matter if that sickness or dis-ease is in my body, or if it's in my mind, or if it's in my emotions. It doesn't matter. God's desire is to nurse us back to health.
There is the love, unfathomable love inside of every being, whether human or immortal.
And for every being.
It is.
Even if it's not a human being, it's for every creature and everything that's on this earth. You know, years ago, and I might have mentioned it before, and while we were in the brick and mortar, I think I mentioned it to our group.
Mm-hmm.
One morning I was walking, and it was really, really cold, and very early in the morning, and I heard this screaming, and it was a cat, and this cat was just literally screaming to get in the house. It was cold. It wanted to get in the house, and I think its owners had gone to work or something and left it outside. And I heard that poor cat, and my heart went out to the cat. Of course, I couldn't do anything for it because it wouldn't let me get anywhere close to it. But anyway, I realized that God hears our human cry. Like I heard that cat, and its heart goes out. It goes out the moment it hears that cry. The moment it hears, and it don't have to be a loud vocal cry. It can just be a something inside yourself where you're crying inside yourself, and God hears that, and immediately starts to do something to help.
I wanted to function in the gifts of the Spirit in 1 Corinthians 12 at the fourth down through the 11th verse. I wanted to operate in those because I had when I saw Jesus' heart, it was broken, and it was broken like I was broken. I'm pushing tonight to say these things to you because I don't have a desire to want to see or do anything else than this. She said that he was the love of every part of her physical body.
And her mind. And her feelings. All of her. Yes, all of her.
He was male and female gender without the terminology of homosexuality.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Then I wrote down here, does water have a smell? Nope. What you smell when you smell water is what was put in it.
Water has no smell, no taste, no shape.
That's right. Except for what it is put in.
We put in it or put it in.
You put yourself molded into this dream, apostolic, heavenly hell pot, whatever you want to call it.
Apostolic hell pot.
Yeah, apostolic hell pot. Because in the infinite identity of your pure self, you did not look at this as to the way we see it after being here.
You didn't look at it through finite eyes.
That's right.
You looked at it through your infinite eyes. Yes. Yes. You see life totally different as the infinite.
Now, water does not have a taste nor smell. We can be the light and be the light. We can be the light we are light and can still hold other people in darkness.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
That's the power that we have, that we are as light. You can be awake in one part and hold people in darkness.
Yes.
For the manifestation of your soul, spiritualized ego to appear to be totally free. I know. Go ahead.
Yes. You took the words right out of my mouth, because I'm beginning to notice that there are areas where I am wide awake, but there are other areas, like you said, where I hold not only other people in darkness, but myself as well.
That's right.
And I have to see that I'm doing that to myself and to others before I can come out of that.
There's nothing like you in your infinite self. There's nothing like all of us in oneness. I saw billions of trucks lined up in the front of a house in my sleep one night.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it to all of us before.
And all these people from Goodwill was getting out of this truck, all the trucks, by millions of souls went into one house with one room. And I questioned, I said, how in the ham sandwich would all these people fit in this little bitty room? Looked like a playhouse. But they did. There was one person, I will not mention name, that was there that was having a problem with a physical situation of marriage and separation. And why she was treated like this, she was in the house, but she couldn't see who was coming in that did not have any problem like she was dealing with. I saw that. And I was able to see her, what was blocking her from seeing the people coming in by the millions and the thousands. And I was able to see and you know what, to see something like this automatically produces a judgment.
What I was wondering, when you first told me about that incident that you had, spiritual event take place, I was wondering why you saw it as a little room. I just got the understanding while you're talking, that the world that we live in consciously, when we're not aware of when we're lost in our minds, is a very small room.
That's right.
It's a very small room,
it really
and
is.
You only see what you focus on in that room. You cannot see anything else in that room. I want to mention what Vincent said here. Vincent, thank you. He says stages of spiritual sleep. Sounds like there's layers within layers. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And some people, you know how we are. If we're sleeping real good, we don't want anybody to really wake us up. We really don't want anybody to wake us up. We might stir a little bit, then go back to sleep. And might fuss a little, not fuss and say, leave me alone. So some of us, the universe is shaking us to try to wake us up, and some of us are reluctant to wake up.
And there's some people that are having trouble taking the vaccine for the damn panic or the pandemic. And they said, I'm not going to take it because they might have something in it. Well, now, can I ask you a question? A simple question like this. You go to the grocery every day.
You're taking a chance.
You're taking a chance when you eat cereal.
But I wanted to mention this. I'm glad you brought that up, because there is a window of grace right now that's taking place in our world about this COVID-19. Go ahead and have your fun and move around and do whatever you want to do. But I don't want you to think that this whole thing is over, because it is not. It is not. So when you start to go back and you start to move around and do all the things that you used to do, and you're having a lot of entertainment and a lot of different things that you've been wanting to do because we've been shut in so long, that's good. It's good. But don't forget, there are still strands out there, and there are still people who have not taken the vaccine, and it shall come back like the flu comes back every fall and winter. So this is not over. I just want to make sure you understand that you prepare yourself and you stay open to change. Okay? Stay open to change. I had to mention that because I know a lot of people right now, because it's warm, it's nice. I can get out, I can go to the beach, I can go there, I can go there, I can do all of these things that I couldn't do before. And now we're excited, but we're dropping our guard again. And this is just a window. This is just a window.
I was taken to a place in a dimension of heaven. And when I got into this place, it was a store. This store it's like an auto parts house, parts store. But the auto parts store, it was not gory and bloody, but I was able to see on the shelf different body parts that was made by God, that if a person walk in the gift of healing or any kind of manifestation of healing, these parts were inside of us, available to transfer.
Yes.
But it was symbolized to me as a store. So I went in. When I got in there, Jesus was standing at 5'10", 5'11". He can be your height or any 7-foot man height. So don't worry about that.
He is all those heights.
All those heights.
Yes.
And I got there. He was standing behind the counter, over to the left. That's right, in front of the counter.
Yes.
And he was over to the left. And I looked in there, and I saw all the available shelves for parts. Some of the parts had been gone because they were now coming to earth to be attached to people.
Why is it, do you think that when we think of healing, we always think of the body only?
Yeah, but
when there's so many other areas of our bodies that are in dis-ease.
That's right.
Of our whole being is in dis-ease. Our minds are in dis-ease. Feelings are in dis-ease. I mean, psychologically, some of us are just really messed up.
That's right.
So there's so many areas of healing.
So when I got there, I was looking back there, and he had told me a long time ago. He showed me that in the council room there's a council table. And he said there would be many places, the many times that I would be in the presence of the council at a table, a restaurant. Okay. And he said, each time you sit at the table, he said, I want you to understand that all of the people from every sage, Buddha, Muhammad, and all of them would be sitting around the table. Some people say, no, that's false. They don't believe it. I don't know nothing about that. All I know is what I saw. And I'm not talking about being deceived, so forget that. He was standing there in this parts house. I got two things going at one time. The council room, I saw all that was available. That's in council right now. In the parts house, I saw all the parts. I've been taken to so many places. And he invited me. He said, behind the counter, he said, come on back. And I knew immediately then, you don't go into a business like the bank
and get invited
to come back behind. Right. That is, it's not good. So it dawned on me not too long ago, that last day or so, he was showing me how that I was going to go into people's businesses, and out of nowhere, he is going to be the owner of the business and invite me to come behind the counter. Okay. I have been to places.
So what does that mean to you?
To me, that means God has, in his heart inside of me, has given me favor to meet people and experience them in position. Okay. Now I'm saying it, but I'm not speaking this as pure as I would like to say it. Okay. All I know is that this.
And when you say pure, are you saying not as free from ego as you would like to be?
Yeah. I'm not saying it as free as I'd like to say it to give you guys the exact meaning of what this is. Yeah. So I went into I got to take my Jeep Friday to get a sensor put on it. And at this shop not far from me, I decided I would always go in the office. And when I went in the office this time, there was nobody there. So I took a chance to walk out into the car place where they said, no one is allowed beyond this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran into one of the sons of the man that owned it, and I said to him, I said, is it okay for me to be out here? I've been into all kinds of shops and asked the same question, and they say, oh, no problem. Yeah, go ahead, come on.
Mm-hmm.
I can still respect the sign that says no one is allowed beyond this point. So I want to make sure that when I go into these places, I am not out of my territory.
Okay.
I'm speaking to you guys now, and I feel it arising in awareness. I want you guys to, whatever it is that I can explain to you about that favor, I want you guys to walk in it. And I want you to walk in it and experience. With all due respect for ladies, there's some places you don't go.
Yeah.
As a lady. As a man, I can go places that some of you ladies can't go. But in your own arena, as men, you know, when I met this girl here beside me on my right.
I'm a girl.
Yeah, she's a girl. She presented to me the difference between a mammy and a mama. Okay, they used to tell me in school, said, and boy, we used to play with me about my mama. They say, ain't your mama and your mama pancake? Ain't your mama on a pancake box? That was a joke that they pulled every time we saw them. I know the difference between a woman, a girl, and a lady. And I'm sitting beside a lady right now. I mean, exquisite, eternal, high summa cum laude training that I could ever. And I'm not saying this to try.
You're not trying to get brownie points.
No. I'm just saying you out of observation that sometimes it bugs the hell out of me.
Why?
But at the same time, the hell that's been bugged need to be bugged, because you couldn't find a better example of a lady than this lady beside me. And I'm not saying it because I married her.
Thank you, darling.
I saw this in her when I first met her.
Thank you.
Even though I thought she was stuck up, and she was. But that's just her demeanor. She's always been like that.
Thank you very much. Except for the stuck up part.
Yeah, you stuck. I mean, but anyway, let me tell you something.
Thank you, Linda. She said, I'm a beautiful lady. I'm beautiful. This is 73-year-old beauty.
Yeah,
I'll be 73 next month. Can you believe that?
And if you guys was to go back and see pictures of her when I married her sister know it, you would see that she was totally in appearance different than what she is now. But what I say to her.
Yeah, that's what I said.
But I say to her now,
73-year-old beauty
that essence has never left her.
I accepted something about myself today. I just told him this. That I have been trying to use my willpower to lose weight. He and I both been doing this. And I just accepted today I cannot do it with my willpower. So Grace is going to have to help me. I have done what I could and it doesn't work.
But she's still here.
But I'm happy anyhow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vincent in California. Early birthday.
Now,
yeah, 73. Can you believe it?
I'm going on 74.
My body feels it, but I don't feel it.
At the same time, I'm saying this to you. There is no racial denominational bigotry. Can
I tell him what you did last night? Can I tell him what you did?
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Will it bother you if I
No.
When we're getting ready to go to bed, we're sitting there watching some YouTube news things. And you guys heard of Rachel Maddow. She has her own show come on at night and news broadcast. And baby was half asleep. And he looked up there at the caption and he said, "What's that about a racial meltdown?"
I said somebody's having a racial meltdown.
Where do you see a racial meltdown?
And what it was? What was it?
It was Rachel Maddow. That was her show.
Yeah,
but he saw racial meltdown.
I said somebody's having a racial
meltdown.
I said, look at that, baby, that's the news. somebody having a racial meltdown.
Yeah.
I said, oh Lord.
I had to tell you guys that. Oh, we laughed for a while on that one.
There's something else I came up with about some kind of fruit or something we talking about. Anyway, it was crazy. So God ain't having no racial meltdown.
God's not having any meltdowns.
She like that.
Yeah, I like that. That was good. That was
Racial
good.
meltdown. We can be light
And still have
and
darkness.
still hold people
in
in darkness.
And ourselves too, can't we?
We are all God's radio station.
And we're all God's.
That's right.
Yes.
Now, I am interested in finding out.
What's that?
Everything that I can about Jesus Christ and who he is in difference in every lifestyle. Because I want to see him everywhere I go. I don't want to take him and find out that I'm taking him somewhere. I want to find him before I get there. That where I'm going, he's already there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now,
yes, sir.
With all these manifestations of the Spirit of God in this dimension, this lady that I was telling you about originally that went home, she begged Jesus to stay where she was in his presence. And he said, no, you have to go back. She said, I do not want to go back to my body. And matter of fact, this lady body was dead. It died.
Really?
It was dead. And
was she a little girl when it happened?
Yeah.
I think she said it.
But
she was a little girl.
It come back. Yeah, one of them was a little girl, but this is another one I'm talking about now.
Okay.
And it's amazing. Can you imagine what it'd be like you in the morgue and you pull a body out of the freezer and it's froze stiff as a popsicle?
No, I can't imagine.
And then all of a sudden the eyes come open.
No, I can't imagine.
And especially if they getting ready to do an autopsy.
Yeah.
And you standing there around that and they come back, I think you're gonna make a hole in the wall or pass out one.
It'll be a racial meltdown.
You have racial meltdown.
Definitely a racial meltdown. I know we're being silly. I know we're being silly. Just forgive us for being silly.
You are the light of the world. And you can be light. I want to tell you something. There is no crookedness in God, but yet he can live in it.
He does live in it.
He is. God has been in everybody.
God has no problem with us. That's the whole thing.
No.
God has no problem with us at all.
You are absolutely free.
But you have to come into the realization of that. Otherwise, you're going to feel like you're not good enough. You'll never be enough. So at some point, you've got to accept that God's love has encompassed you and has swallowed you up. And God's not looking for anything different except to bring you into absolute wholeness. That's it.
All the qualities of God is in what we are.
Yes.
That we call me and us and them. Now I'll tell you something, that this stuff's right.
Yeah, you're going to try to pop here, time to go.
It's time to explode, baby.
Linda says, silly is fun. Yes, silly is fun now. Silly is fun.
It make you want to kill a rock record train and dare a piece of iron to catch rheumatism.
So we have all these little private jokes where now we're talking the joke of the week is racial meltdowns. We're having
hit a bull between his eyes and knock him to his knees.
I'll never look at Rachel Maddow the same.
Make water go up a hill. Miss Hill. Water coming up the hill.
Well, anyway, you guys, our time is winding up.
Yes.
Jill has already posted how to give, and it's on your screen. Thank you so much. In the midst of your summer fun, you're going to the beach and you're going to the park and you're going to shopping, you're going to do this and do that. We thank you for remembering us.
Please
and for
financially help
remembering
us if you can.
Cornerstone.
We appreciate everybody that if you just give a penny, it's all right with me.
True.
Because the key to this thing is that your essence is speaking to us already, with or without that. Thank you so much for the gift of you.
And I have to say this, that I think a lot of churches are suffering right now simply because a lot of people now are no longer stuck at home. And when they were at home, they had more money to give.
Mm-hmm.
Now that they're moving out, they're going and doing different things, and they're spending their money. So a lot of times the church gets put on the back burner. So I want to remind you to keep us in mind, and thank you for that. Thank you for what you've been doing so far. And Dovey, I'm glad you're with us. She said laughter's like a medicine.
It is.
And we do that a lot, don't we?
Yeah, we do that just around the houses.
Yes, we do that
looking
a lot.
at each other and cut up.
Thank
you so much for all of you guys who are making heaven to us a tangible substance online. I will be back. We will be back. We both will be back on Thursday at 2:30. You want to tune into us, please do. We'll be back also on Sunday morning at 10.
At 10, yes.
We never know what we're going to hit or talk about. It's all good.
Yeah, it is.
And it's good to have people like you guys out there to stand with us.
Yeah, and your comments, I love your comments.
We're not sure yet when we're going to go back into brick and mortar, but we'll leave that to the destiny of the times and the hand of God. If we never go back into it, it's okay with me. If we do, it's still okay.
Yeah.
But the main thing I have right now is your attention and your heart. Mm-hmm. We do love you both, all of you.
Hi, Tiffany. We love you too, sweetie.
And if you can, please pull up something real nice in numbers that would be a tremendous blessing to us financially to keep us going. And we thank you for what you've done in the past. So you
can buy a hot dog?
Yeah, I buy a hot dog, $1,000 hot dog. That'd be good.
We had one hot dog in the whole year.
Yeah, I need $1,000 hot dog. If you just send it in, just put it in the mail.
What do you put on $1,000 hot dog?
$1,000 hot dog. Put a hot dog. I ain't gonna tell you what I put on it. None of your business. I'll leave that alone. Thank you.
I told him, I said, the very next time somebody gives me a $10,000 love gift, I'm gonna go get me a cheerwine float at Cookout because I haven't had one.
Ooh. Pastor Norman, we released the power of God to you and everybody on this telecast today, that the wisdom of the Spirit of God from your ancient of age self will begin to reveal to you the many evolutions of wisdom that has been introduced to all of you, from the top of your head to the toes of your feet.
Love you, Linda.
Okay.
Love you, Linda. Love
thank you,
Tiffany.
Thank you, Tiff.
KK.
Kelly, we would love you.
Jill.
Sean, we love you.
Love you guys so
all
much.
You guys.
Love you guys
Lita,
so much.
We love you.
Brand,
Brother Joe. Oh, all of you little snapdragons out there.
Robert, kiss Ethan for me.
Yes, please do.
We'll talk to you guys later. We'll see you on Thursday at 2:30.
All of you guys.
I want to thank those of you who've already started sending in your cash apps.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vincent. Kelly sent us 25.
Thank you.
Brother Carr sent us 50. Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
That'll help us pay our doctor bills.
Also, while we're on here, go ahead and like and subscribe and share right now while we're talking, because that helps us too.
Don't try to explain to them what we're saying. Say, tune in for yourself.
Yeah.
Tune in for yourself and don't try to get into it and mess it up. Just go ahead and tell them to tune in. Tell them how this time you got something good you want them to hear.
Mm-hmm. And if they don't like it, it's okay.
And ain't no weight on you. See you next time.
Bye, you guys. Bye.